pecuniary or non-pecuniary interest. Does that apply to councillors here tonight?
No.
Not sure.
Sorry?
I'm not sure
Right.
in my own case because the road.
It's to do with the railway.
No, it's Hall Road. The access to my home is affected by the damage to the junction of Hall Road and Woodlands Road. I don't know whether that qualifies.
I think so.
No, I don't think
It
so.
would
It's
be
personal
repair
interest,
it,
not
because
pecuniary
you're not,
interest.
It's personal, not pecuniary.
Yeah.
Right.
you're not a builder going to repair it in your own.
Okay, open forum, agenda item 3. We have no members of the public, so we'll bypass that one. Agenda item 25034 is to approve and sign the minutes of the town council meeting of the 10th of December. Does anybody have an issue with those?
No.
Okay, may I have a proposer and a seconder, please, to accept those? Thank you, Councillor Cynthia Sampson. Councillor Tim. Thank you. All in favour? Thank you very much. Agenda item 25035 is to approve and sign the order of payments for January 2025. Has everybody had a chance to look at those, and are there any questions, queries or issues? No? Okay. A proposer then, please, and a seconder. Proposer, thank you. Seconder, Councillor Thompson. All those in favour? Thank you. Agenda item 25036 to receive a report from the PCSO. Would you like to do that for us?
Good evening. Below is a breakdown of incidents in Hamforth, not including Coleshaw, since the last meeting. The level of detail provided depends on what GDPR will allow and not compromising ongoing investigations. Burglaries, 1. Occupant on holiday, jewellery and money taken. Theft of motor vehicles, 0. Theft from motor vehicles, 4. 3 of these number plates have been stolen. 1 was an attempt to get in a vehicle. Shoplifting, 4. 3 from Hamforth Dean, 1 taken meat from the spa. Reports of missing people, 5. All were found safe and well. Suspicious activity, 5. No patterns or relation to other jobs. Violence, 16. One of these incidents were MH related. I'm guessing that's mental health. 6 of these incidents involved the same 4 properties people. Many turned out to be verbal arguments and were singular incidents. Only 1 of these incidents actually involved physical violence with no injuries. ASB, antisocial behaviour, 1. Report of kids knocking and running, causing a nuisance. Kind regards, PCSO Izzy Yates.
Thank you very much. Any questions, anybody on anything on that PCSO's report?
On the violence one, well, let me go back. On Pickney Road in Hamforth, at the end of December, there was a major incident whereby ambulances were involved, police vehicles were involved, CSI were involved, and the house opposite Chelford Road was fenced off and guarded. Do we know what's happened?
I don't personally, and it certainly doesn't look like it appears in this report.
But it should be.
Absolutely.
Compromising ongoing investigations.
Yeah, there is that little window that gets brought up that things can't be discussed in case it relates to an ongoing investigation and stuff like that. So what I would suggest is we just wait until the PCSO visits next time, which hopefully we'll soon because I haven't been here for months. Gareth's taken a daddy break, so modern policing, isn't it? Modern society. It might be worth.
We could always ask.
Yeah.
Izzy for an update on it.
Yeah.
Prior after this meeting.
Yeah. If you send me the incident that you recollect,
Okay.
I can send her an email and I'll say, is this allowed to be talked about at this stage? because my view on this is all very wishy-washy.
Yeah,
It's, you know,
it's not a police report.
it is, there's spelling mistakes and all sorts of rubbish in it.
I wasn't bothered about that, just the contents.
Yeah, the content is very wishy-washy.
Mm.
It's been done in 3 minutes and typed up in 3, so there's 10 minutes gone to the council, in my opinion. I don't think you get something as wishy-washy as this from Matt Rowbottom if he was here.
No.
It's kind of, Matt Rowbottom would stand up and tell it how it is. But
Well, we need to we need to let them know that we're not very pleased with the content of the report. You know, not criticise it, but just say, I'd like the report to be much more in depth.
Yeah.
And inform us of, as councillors, what's happening.
Shoplifting 4, 3 from Hamforth Dean, 1 taken meat from the Spa. Were they caught? Do we have people in custody for it? Have there been charges made? You know, reports of missing people, 5, all found safe and well. How long were they gone for? Did they go to the pub? Did they not come home from the pub? Did they go to a mate's house?
Were they elderly?
Were they elderly?
You know.
Or were the youngsters that didn't come home on
Yeah.
time?
Is there a criminal relevance to it?
Yes.
Probably not.
Can I ask why do you need to know?
Well, we don't.
No, but like, why do you need to know about? I just got to know.
I'm curious to know what was going on.
Is it just because we're nosy or?
No,
No, it's just.
it's put it this way,
Other
it's 30 years of previous experience, want to know.
If there is a crime going on in Hamforth, then we need to know about it as a council, as Hamforth Town Council. We need to know where the issues are. And in my opinion, you know, this is antisocial behaviour. 1, reports of kids knocking and running, causing a nuisance. Well, for me, that's me opening my front door and going, "Oi, bugger off." You know, it's not it's not a police issue unless things are being smashed or broken. But are the police getting involved in it because they feel they need to get involved in it? I mean, I'm personally, and you can take this off the record, I don't really approve of the PCSOs. I think they're an absolute waste of time. I think they're a waste of time. That's my personal opinion.
We've all done that with the kids.
Yeah.
Right, okay, well, can we please move on? Because we were taking up on time here. So, if you would like to send the...
I'll contact this Izzy Yates. I'm guessing she's working out of Wilmslow.
Yeah.
She's not allocated to us particularly. She'll be the Wilmslow PCSO. So I'll find out what she's doing, where she's up to, and I'll try and meet her.
Yeah.
And have a chat with her. And just because, you know, I'm a little bit old school with my policing and
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agenda item 25037 is to receive any reports from the ward councillors. Well, unfortunately, Councillor John Smith isn't here this evening, so that agenda item's gone. Agenda item 25038 is to agree HTC support for the VE Day 80th anniversary on the 8th of May 2025, to agree the working group of members and to authorise the clerk to spend up to the allocated budget of £3,000 for the event. Open to you, people.
I'll join the working group and help.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
And I'll help.
Okay.
There's a
Everybody
team
else?
leader. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Because one of the things I'd like us to get some flags out in Handford, actually
Can we have a meeting?
doing a proper VE day, maybe have it in Merritt Road Park or, I don't know, I mean, it's, but
Well,
I
we can
really
discuss
like
that, can't we, as a group?
Didn't we have some military representation here
Yeah.
for the D-Day celebration?
Yeah,
I thought you did, yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't make it, unfortunately.
That was excellent.
Yeah.
If we can do something like
I was
that,
thinking that because we've got loads of acts that said they'll come and do it for free, which
Yeah.
is good, but if we could get some of the period, which would be great. And again, I think it helps when people could dress up and things again and celebrate it. I think it would be good and we could make it bigger and better, but I feel like it needs more advertising.
There are a few people around here, maybe not Hamforth, a bit further Stockport way, that have old relics, vehicles that they might want to bring down.
Oh, yeah.
If we
Do
could,
you know these people?
I don't know. I've seen them at events.
You had some, didn't you?
Yeah, but there was last year where someone reached out to me who was Winston Churchill, and he was lookalike, and they were asking if they could come to an event if we do it again next year. And we said absolutely, so that'd be nice.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
And
Yeah.
and the railway could want to get involved as well.
Yeah.
So I think that,
And there is a budget of 3,000, so we could have flags and lots of stuff.
So can we just firm up on who's on the, who would like to be on the group? Just raise your hands.
I can't because we're doing something in Oakway.
Okay.
That's
Wendy, sorry, are you joining in there?
Yes, whatever. Yeah. Just tell me what to do. Yeah. I'd like to have the beacon.
Yeah.
If you look on all the bumps that came with it, there was a beacon and there's going to be a countrywide beacon lighting.
Yeah.
Now, we've never done anything like that in Hamforth.
So where are you gonna
What's
have
the
to?
beacon lighting? What is it?
They're asking you to put a fire on one of those big stands and
Right.
you all light it at the same time
Yeah.
around the country, and it burns for that evening
Where is the beacon?
and overnight. You make it yourself, it tells you the buy one or make it.
Isn't the case you should see the next one from where you are, and the
Yeah,
next one, and so on.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Oh, you
And
can all see one,
it's
yeah.
all put on a map that you have into the main.
Take me off
Yeah.
about dressing up.
On the main road.
I didn't think of that when I got that.
You just have to write to them and say.
Okay, right. Then it's up to discussion. We're organised. Will you take the lead, please?
Yeah, should we
Organise a get together so we can have a discussion about it, and then we can bring our proposals to the council. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we just then have a proposal, please, to agree the £3,000 for this event and a seconder? Oh, look at all those hands up.
Give me money.
Take your pick. All those in favour? Thank you very much. Agenda item 25039 is to agree to formalise arrangements with Old Lears Parish Council in accordance with the 24-25 internal audit in the event of long-term sickness of the clerk from either council. Again, this is Mike. Would you like to explain?
Again, following on from the internal audit, he's worried if I die and you're left without a clerk. So only I will agree to clerk for you in my absence. And vice versa.
Okay. Any questions from anybody?
What a wonderful idea, and I'm glad somebody's thought.
We did this.
Okay, I'll
we did this
propose
in
it. Can I have a
December,
seconder,
didn't we?
please? Thank you. All those in favour? Thank you very much. Agenda item 25310 is to receive recommendation from the Finance Committee regarding a grant application from St Benedict Primary School for the provision of SEND equipment grant requested up to £2,000. Councillor Sanson.
Yes, we discussed this at the Finance Committee this evening, and everybody was in favour of St Benedict receiving this amount of money. It's for the SEN children, and it can only benefit the children of Hamforth, and there was no objections whatsoever.
It's really needed in that school.
So it's £2,000.
It's £2,000 because we gave the Grange £2,000 and we want to make them
Yeah,
the same.
Equal.
they've got so
both
many
schools.
STEM children in that school,
Yeah.
but they've got nowhere for them to
No.
go, so
No,
it's
So-
all.
£2,000 has been agreed at the Finance Committee, so really, it's just come to the full council for ratification. All those in favour?
Who would like to propose it? Who's proposing it?
Yeah.
Second, right, all those in favour? Thank you. Agenda item 250311 is to agree HTC support for the R200 event marking the 200th anniversary, marking the birth of the railway, with events happening through 2025. Councillor Small.
Gosh, yes, this seemed to drop in my lap for some reason. The council has received notification from Railway 200, and when I first saw this material, I thought, oh, great, it's going to be a nationwide celebration of the 200th anniversary of the first passenger train and so on. That means money coming into the Friends of Handforth station and maybe into Handforth and so on. Quite the opposite is true. This is a fundraising event for charity. The organisers of this event include various bodies that are associated with the railway industry. And they're working with partners from outside that industry, including, for example, Alzheimer's Research UK. And the object is to highlight the influence the railway has had on culture, art and society. Numerous events will occur nationwide. An exhibition train will tour the country, though it's not going to visit every port of call. But this may interest councillors here and their associates. Half-price rail tickets will apply to journeys made between the 17th of January and the 31st of March 2025 across Great Britain. And it's hoped that the Railway 200 will raise about £200,000 for charity. Obviously, an event of this kind might be considered to be focused on Handforth Station. And the friends of the station have started to produce some ideas. One of these ideas is to construct a commemorative stainless steel screen, organising a real rail trail, contributing to a book of poetry, and maybe running a PowerPoint presentation using a screen, something similar to that one there, mounted in one of the ticket office windows that face Station Road. I would stress that we haven't as yet got permission to do that, and it might be difficult. But that having been said, the Friends of Handforth Station would be grateful for any kind of support that the Town Council can provide. The whole issue at the station is complicated by the fact that, of course, 2025 is the year in which lift installation events occur. At the moment, we're under embargo not to do anything infrastructure-wise at platform level, and that's going to complicate, of course, what we could do to celebrate Railway 200. So at this stage, we're just looking for the support of the council in a general sense.
Okay. So, any questions from anybody for Councillor Small?
Are the friends of the station going to request some funding then? The council?
Possibly. The object of my object is to try and get one of those to put in the ticket office window if it's allowed, and Ashley tells me that would cost about 150 or 160 pounds. Mike Bishop is currently beavering away. He seems to have got a new burst of energy. He's submitting grant applications here, there and everywhere. So there's a lot of activity going on his behalf to raise funding for this event.
Okay. Any questions for anyone else?
A grant application to the council?
I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will.
Okay. Anybody else? Queries? No? Okay. So can we have a proposal in a second then, please? Okay, thank you very much. All those in favour of supporting the R200 event? Thank you. Unanimous. Agenda item 250312 is to agree to write to James Holmes with the attached letter to request comment on recent study events on Hall Road. Councillor Small has written a letter which I'm sure you've all seen. We have a huge problem on Hall Road, and some of you will probably know that there are three-way traffic lights currently there. The road is collapsing on the corner, and I'm now told we had highways in, Roger, Peter and I were out trying to sort it on the first day it was spotted. And highways eventually came and put the traffic lights in. However, it isn't a highways issue. It's all to do with the drainage underneath, so it's a United Utilities issue, and it has been referred to them. However, the biggest problem we have is that if that road collapses, the residents of Woodlands Road, Old Hall Crescent and
Hill Drive,
and all there will have no means of getting out of their homes into the wider spaces around here, because that is our only way in and out. So we need to, we'll be pushing United Utilities. However, Councillor Small has something to say about his letter, and Councillor Moore also has something to say about some things that he has been investigating. So, over to Councillor Small first.
Yes, this.
Wait till
Yep.
finish.
This harks back, I guess, to the planning application 150795M, which was submitted by Jones Homes to develop the Sunfield site. And when that planning application was inspected, it was evident that the entire site, surface water drainage, was going to go into the main sewer that runs down the eastern end of Hall Road. There was to be a attenuation lagoon. I'm not sure whether that lagoon has actually been constructed or whether it's functional. And there was to be a vortex flow limiting unit inserted near to the entrance of Wadsworth Close. And the rainstorm of about a week ago, was it? Just totally overcame all these engineering works. A vast volume of water went down the main sewer in Hall Road and caused the the junction of Woodlands Road and Hall Road virtually to erupt. Now, at the time that Jones Homes have made that planning application, several residents commented that they didn't think it was a good idea to drain all the surface water from the Sunfield site into Hall Road. The Sunfield site is located close to the River Dean. Why not drain surface water straight down into the River Dean? And well, those recommendations were ignored. And the town council itself made similar comments about the plans for draining the Sunfield site, let alone the sanctuary site. And so the comments of both neighbours who lived in the locality and of this council, or its former parish council designation, made these comments. We could see what was going to happen, and now basically it's a question of we told you so, because Jones Homes inserted the most enormous sewer pipes down the eastern end of Hall Road, and I have the feeling, although I'm not an engineer, so I don't have certain knowledge, that those great big new sewage pipes which were put in the centre of Hall Road ended up being opposed to a much smaller diameter pipe which would drain from Woodlands Road down into Spath Brook, and it just couldn't make it. And the road, as I said, virtually erupted. There are minor sinkholes here and there. A manhole has obviously been pushed aside and interfered with. A whole section of the tarmac has either sunk or raised up, and incidentally, that seems to be getting worse at the moment. As
is the BT manhole.
And quite frankly, I would like Jones Homes to receive this letter to say, we told you so. And in the full realisation that Jones Homes probably are not going to dip into their pockets to make the situation good. But I would like Jones Homes to know what's gone on. I would like the Highways Department to know what's gone on, and indeed United Utilities. So I hope the council will support the sending of this letter, not only to Jones Homes, but maybe to the Highways Department, the Planning Department, who ignored our predictions, and also to United Utilities.
Thank you, Councillor Moore. Would you like to be very succinct with your
Yeah,
comments?
I just, as I'm talking, there was also a flood on December the 5th, so we had two in just over a month. It's going to happen time and time again. And as Roger's saying, it's the fact, in fact, I think many land drains from the site, which used to flood. You know, some of used to flood regularly, hugely. It's all now coming down Hall Road. And the one of the point, I mean, it's past this round, it's actually the December the 5th one. And you'll see this is the bottom of Hall Road where it dips down, the school field on the left, and it goes up slightly to Woodlands Road. And there's actually the groundwater goes into the sewage system, and there's an overflow pipe which goes coming down Hall Road from Station Road. As you get to the bottom, it's onto your right because the stream comes under the road and then goes down parallel to the road in Adams Garden, then behind the tennis club. There's an overflow pipe at that point which is supposed to take away the excess water. And the point to make is that he's been there many years and he said that was always a trickle. I've seen it, it's a flood. It keeps gushing out. So obviously much more water coming down that particular point. And this is actually that point. It'll scroll around. It's a little video. Pass it on to you. Quickly watch that one. So that was December the 5th. That's the bottom of the dip in Hall Road. It's coming over the curb, down the path, and it's flooding the school field. So it's quite horrendous, really. But the quick point to make is it isn't Jones Homes. It's Cheshire East at fault. Because the salient point is that up until the early 50s, it was practiced that the groundwater went into the sewage system, isn't it? From the early 50s, From the early 50s, standard practice was that the groundwater didn't go into the sewage system; it went its own way to a stream or a river. The planning committee in 2016 said it should not have passed it. It's against all best practice. It should have gone, as you say, to somewhere else completely, not by the sewage system. Clearly, for whatever reason, at that point at the bottom there, it can't cope. And it's backing up. Then what comes out of the drains, onto the road, comes down the road again, and then, as you see there, over the curb into the field. And that's going to get worse, isn't it? That's twice in a month. This is now new. This didn't happen before. It's going to get worse. Yeah.
It was completely.
Some fields, yeah, it was a flood before they built there. Yeah.
My biggest concern.
Blame Cheshire East. Shouldn't have passed it.
It is Cheshire East. Well, big concern that I've got is one, if the road collapses, none of the residents can get out. The second one is if we have a catastrophic event like we have, we've got the potential for all the flooding and possibly sewage to end up on the school playing field.
Yeah.
And that is a health and safety risk.
When I worked at the school though, I believe that the school had tried to apply for having drainage back into, from the field to back into the stream, and that got denied as well because, do you know what I mean? So they've asked multiple times for that to be, because it is a danger. It's so bad.
Yeah, the drainage has a field drain within the whole length of their field that was put in when the estate was first built, and that does mean that our field doesn't flood. Where the bypass, the bypass is just going to drown.
There is a drain, isn't there, from the field?
Just 1 minute, please. Councillor
Just a quick point of ignorance for me. Is there no way that you can get from Roger's house at the top there onto the Jones estate and through to Tesco?
No, we don't want one.
But is there no access or road that's been built that could be gated off?
If there were a sudden sinkhole developed at the junction that we're considering, it could be done.
Yes, you're right.
It could be done.
The old tank track.
But that couldn't be done for people coming out of Woodlands if it goes across the road. They would be completely
we'd be okay.
stuck. They wouldn't be able to get out either way.
Was it a sinkhole? Was it an actual sinkhole?
We're not
Not
we
sure
don't
yet.
really know.
I mean, all
We want Cheshire East to come and survey it because it needs to be just around the bend from where the road is falling apart is a BT manhole, and that's now gone down about that much and is going further. The road looks as though it could slip at any point, the whole of the road, in which case you've got danger to the kids, the school, residents and everybody. It needs to be addressed. I would like to see highways put a residents only, so we stop all the Jones Homes traffic, we stop all the parents coming down, we stop all the people coming and parking going to Hampole Dean, because that just makes the amount of traffic going over that wheat spot worse. So that was my suggestion.
There are several small sinkholes at the site. What bothers us is whether there is a big cavern underneath.
Yeah, it was said when he walked the dog after the flooding, and it was just like it's completely like coming, like it's going.
Yeah.
Like these like should see out like it. So
We have visions of let's say a heavily loaded bin lorry suddenly disappearing down a big hole.
I know exactly.
Can I just say that a councillor from Moleslade
There's a split.
contacted Cheshire East
Wow.
about
It's cracking across there.
the problem, and they said it
Carries
wasn't their
depression.
responsibility.
And
They did send
This is
out
Woodlands Road.
a
Schools there.
person to do it.
It's Hall Road.
They
Councillor
turned
Moore.
around and said that it
That's got
was
worse.
United Utilities and British Telecom's responsibility. So they won't do anything properly.
They just passed the book.
But they could push, couldn't they?
Well, only if we write.
Yes, well,
Nobody's written.
that's what we want to do.
It's their fault.
all very
It's their
well.
fault.
I
We
mean,
stress that, it's their fault.
Exactly, well,
It doesn't matter about fault. There's not one resident that's written in to Cheshire East.
Right.
Because that's what they said, well, nobody's complained.
Let's do it then.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
so we
You
need to
know, you
mobilise
can't
everybody
just
to complain.
that people will complain.
Yeah.
We need to send a formal letter from Handford Town Council
Yeah.
saying that residents have approached us and they are.
I think make it public. It's their fault.
Yeah.
Well, you can't.
Well, we
no,
just-
you don't.
It's a
complain
fact.
like
Blame,
that.
It's a fact.
Let's just get it
Really
resolved.
doesn't matter
Councillor
if it's
Sampson.
well, the sun
Please.
Are the ward councillors involved?
Well, I was hoping to ask Councillor Smith to get involved tonight, but he's not here. So I will send him an email to ask him to get involved and to lobby on behalf of the residents. Councillor?
Just a second, again, point of ignorance maybe, but sewage pipes should carry sewage away to a sewage farm. How can water from the outside get into those and cause them to flood up?
Because
Well,
some
that
of
was
the
common
sewage
till the early
pipes-
50s.
Was it?
Yeah. So you've got the pre-war estate, Woodlands Road.
Yeah.
It's an old design, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
They shouldn't have gone into it.
No.
It's
But
because
that-
different
that
standards.
doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
There's
The
only
reason
evidence.
why the question you just asked is because the pipes are old and they're fractured.
Yeah.
And they're debating, well, it's not our responsibility.
Yeah.
And they're saying it's United Utilities or it's BT, but they've had no complaints.
Well, they shouldn't
So
have
we
agreed to do
cannot
it.
go, yeah, but that's.
No. I disagree entirely.
Well, all right,
They shouldn't
let's
have agreed to that.
have
Shouldn't have
an
been passed in
argument.
2016.
Yeah.
Well, when was that?
2016.
2016.
Shouldn't have been passed. That was
point
then
is
old
this,
hat,
right.
old design.
The point is this. Prior to the estate being built, we had no issues.
Correct.
Prior to that pipe being put in there was not flooding. There is flooding now, mostly because that field was always flooded. We had Handforth Lake every winter and early springtime, and that wasn't taken into account. And now the residents are paying the price for poor planning.
Same happened at
Permission.
the bypass.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Exactly
exactly
the
the same.
same.
Yeah.
Me
They're told.
Listen to people's advice.
All right, so can we have support then for this, sending this letter to Jones Home?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'd
And
like
Cheshire
to
East.
Do you want to propose it, Councillor Small?
Yes, I'll certainly.
Will someone second it,
propose
please?
it. We
We all will.
And all those in favour? Thank you. Thank you very much, Councillor Small, for writing said letter. It's very much appreciated. Agenda item 25.3.13, notices and correspondence. Do we have any?
No, nothing really, apart from Cheshire East Council are looking to increase the council tax bill to 9.99% as of April.
Oh, good for them. Well,
What for?
I'm sorry,
I think we didn't
9.9.
expect it.
9.99.
Yes.
I'm selling point on the £10.
Just under,
Yeah.
just under 10%.
Put it down to the bin the other day.
Yeah.
9.9.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that wasn't Cheshire East. That was the bin lorry couldn't get down the road because they hadn't been gritted. Because Cheshire East wouldn't come out and grit because it was dangerous.
So was their fault.
It's the same.
Okay. Yes,
Can I just
Karen.
bring up two things that aren't on the agenda?
If you're very quick.
They will be very quick. One I've mentioned about the gritting the steps at the station. But the
Oh,
other
yeah.
thing is, a lot of people have mentioned that Handfuls, as we know, was not gritted. The precinct wasn't gritted, the doctors weren't gritted, neither was the library. I don't know whose responsibility it is. This is something that happens once in a blue moon, I agree, but there should be somebody gritting.
Okay, can we make inquiries about that?
Somebody.
The footpaths are absolutely
And
atrocious.
everybody has an accident.
We will make inquiries.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like we said on Windermere Road, it's been a sheet of glass for like a week and a bit. If we had a grit box at the top of our road,
Yeah.
we would grit the pavements ourselves.
Yes.
And if we fell, then it's on us. But the fact you can't get any grit boxes put on private estates means you can't grit.
When you have to have permission from
Just
Cheshire
to-
East.
Yes, I know. So if they're not willing to grit, then surely we should, as a town council, write to them and say.
Their policy is to only grit main roads.
Yes.
Yeah.
They don't grit any side roads.
Yeah.
But we've got a school. We've got a school, and that road's not gritted
Not
any
sure that's
single
good.
time.
Not sure that's
Hull,
good.
Hull
The
Road
thing
has
is-
a steep section to it, and there's a grit bin
I mean,
adjacent
we've
to
got
that
gritting
steep
at
part.
the entrance to our estate.
I was walking.
I've not seen anyone
When
go and get a
maybe
bucket
the
full of
9.9%
grit.
increase on the council tax will get
You see, in
Uh,
Stockport, any road with a certain incline gets a grit box put on it for the residents to grit themselves. Just one other thing, very, very quickly. You mentioned when I first joined that there wasn't a public toilet in Handford, but could use the one in Costa. There's now signs up in Costa, only customers may use these toilets.
Okay.
Now, I was told that their rent was less or something was less because I provided that facility. It's just someone pointed out that they had a kid who needed the toilet and
I will make inquiries.
Did they ask whether you could use the toilet?
they asked and the question was, are you a customer? No, my child wants to use it. Well,
And they said no.
we've got to ask for keys.
Okay, thank you, councillor.
Sorry,
Let's
just
not have an
mention
internal
these,
discussion.
one quick thing, Bath Lane, now that is a bus route, we do get now and again a bus down there. It was horrendous, we've been snowed in now for over 5 days, we daren't venture out. It's not just, you know, what's going on in the car park, it's Bath Lane itself. Now, it's an extricate independent living facility where we live, you all know that. And I think we should get a little bit of priority somewhere.
No.
But we said it's a bus route,
It's
bus
not.
routes. Anywhere a bus route is, they get gritted. Well, we've got a bus now and again.
It was
down
too
there.
dangerous to let the grit lorries
And
go.
I was
Too
just doing
dangerous,
that to
oh,
me.
so we just
Kick
stay
them
right
out
off.
for 5 days.
Yes.
We don't have to.
It was too dangerous to grit their doctors.
Okay, thank you. Any more notices or correspondence? Okay. Agenda item 25.3.14 is to agree the next date of the HTC full council meeting, which is the 11th of February.
Lovely.
Thank you very much. Close of meeting at 8:28. Thank you very much for coming, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Did you read that about the fight? That what, because you know there used to be a field,
Yeah.
that originally underneath that field, because it was built for something. and the sump was as big as the field. That's how much water it became. Yeah, and now the sump is buried underneath, so like out of action because they buried it. So they knew when they built that it was, because on the original maps of Hamford, it was called Tyrone.
Can I just ask, does anybody want to bid for free labour for a meeting?
I know somebody,
Do you want free labour for 5 days?
How old is it?
He's 15, so he's got to do his work experience. It's just a week, yeah, just a week.
What's the
Great to be soon.
All right.
We do regularly.
That's what I thought. He's not bothered if he's going to try whatever it is at the moment,
That's it.
but, yeah.
Literally lay road through and then stay like that. There's no
Lovely, lovely.
I've got to find out by the end of the week.
We've got one experience.
You leave the chair tables out?
I'll email
Leave
you.
them out?
Yeah, I'll just move it around a little bit. Yeah.
What you do with the tables?
I'll just put them into 2 rows. 2 rows of 3.
Yeah, they're like we have before, aren't
Yeah, 2 rows of 3, yeah. Yeah, that'll do.
Got a hand with it?
You
Yeah.
What are you doing with it?
I'll show you what to do.
Pass them on.
See what I mean?
All right, the chair's staying there, aren't they?
Yeah, fine. I'm going to go around by tomorrow.